So, I have prepared a Q&A here for you today.
Okay.
And it's all about marriage and relationships.
Marriage and relationships.
My favorite topics.
Oh boy.
So I need you to be as honest, as frank, and as precise as possible.
All right, it's been recorded. You said as honest, as frank,
and as precise,
as possible. I want to
Okay.
hear this after this.
Okay.
All right.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, looking good. You nervous?
No,
You sure?
it's just honesty.
Okay. Here we go. Question number 1.
Hmm.
They're ever so important. And let me just mention, this is in no particular order, okay?
Okay.
So there's no order of importance. There's no order of anything. Okay? So question number 1. What does marriage mean to you?
What does marriage mean to me? I would have to say that it means a joint effort by two people to achieve common goals and if you decide to have family or if you can't have family, to develop that family to be a better version of yourself.
Is that where it stops?
To be married, I think common goals should be the first conversation because if you're not on the same page or you don't have the same type of interests, I'm a firm believer that love doesn't conquer all.
Really?
Yes, I believe love is also subject to other emotions such as fear, anger, or even jealousy.
Okay. All right. So I think you sort of kind of answered this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What to you are the most important things that make for a successful marriage?
Trust, communication, finances.
Awesome. Should your spouse be your best friend?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I kind of debated if I should ask this question or not, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Shoot.
Okay. What is the most important lesson you learned from the demise of your first marriage?
To always check yourself first, especially when there's conflict or disagreement. Always look at yourself first. Question yourself, analyze yourself, and then the situation, and focus on the situation yourself. And when it's time to discuss this situation, that's when you should be given the opportunity to address the other party as a part of the situation.
You didn't do this before? In
No.
your previous marriage?
No, I had no idea. No one taught me, I didn't have a dad that could teach me how to be married.
Right.
And a lot of these things that I've learned now is just from reading and trying to develop myself.
That was my next question. My next question was, because I know that you've grown tremendously spiritually since then. So how has your spiritual growth changed you as a man and as a person since then?
It's helped me have more confidence in my decisions because I understand that I'm going to be held accountable for them. So I have to be more precise and calculating with what I do.
Okay.
It's helped me to recognize all of my shortcomings.
Okay.
And not only recognize them, it's helped me to be able to deal with them.
Okay. Okay. So was this changed solely from what you learned, or was it from self improvement? In the sense that you talked about about reading books, or is it things that you've learned from different people, or is it a combination of
It's a combination of the both.
Okay.
Once you read the information, you definitely have to apply it.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer that the best way that you have to apply is not just enough to know the information.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference between having knowledge and applying wisdom and being wise, rather.
Okay.
And when you apply it, I'm also a firm believer that you have to apply it within a scenario or a situation, because I can sit back and talk it and act it out through my head all day, but I'm in control of my emotions. And when I deal with someone else, I have to respond to that person trying to elicit an emotion from me. So it's like shooting a gun. You can have target practice all day, but when it's live fire, it's not just how accurate you can shoot, it's how you keep your composure.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so do you think every woman is the same or different, and in what ways?
Yes, the same and different. I say the same, and culture has a lot to do with it. So when I say the same, I'll say women in America. They're all subjected to the same type of marketing or memes or suggestive thoughts and actions via TV, radio, or by the person or people that they interact with. And it's hard to kind of isolate that, because if you have a close friend and they're not aware and they haven't grown as much as you've grown, a person is the most effective tool to condition or to put a thought in another person's mind. Mm-hmm. It's better than TV, better than any type of advertisement, because you have an emotional tie with this person and they're right here, they're a living thing. Mm-hmm. It's not just a suggestive thought, it becomes an opinion with an emotion behind it, mm-hmm. and a connection or a bond behind it, because you're bonded or connected with that individual. Mm-hmm. So, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you have. Absolutely, you have. I thought you were adding some more stuff, that's why I was still quiet. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I probably know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it. Mm-hmm. Did you ever, mm-hmm. after your first marriage failed, think, oh, I'm going to get married again one day?
It took for me to actually even realize that first I still love my ex-wife, and then second to realize what it was to be over her. You know what I mean? And once I was able to recognize that I was still in love with her, it allowed me to recognize the different type of emotions I was having. It wasn't that I realized that I just wasn't angry, and it wasn't that I hated her. I was angry because I knew that I was addicted to love at the time. I always wanted to be a father. I always wanted to get married. So I think I was more angry that it failed.
For that reason.
And once I was able to rationalize the different things that I was angry about, I realized how much I valued marriage.
Huh. So you said to yourself, okay, I'll get married again one day.
No, I just said, I want to get married, That's for me.
Okay. That's a very good answer. What have you learned from your previous relationships with women?
What have I learned? Okay, here we go. I would say, first of all, that the majority of people in a relationship are psychological dysfunction.
a big one.
People say scarred or angry, but at the end of the day, if and first of all, let's start with love. Our concept or idea of what love is, I don't think any of us really sat down and tried to research or understand what love was. We kind of went off of what we watched on TV, seen in a movie, and watched other people go through. You know, I mean, we're as human beings, we tend to mimic a lot of stuff.
Right.
To find our way through. And if you really think about it, there are no instruction manuals to love. There's no real true definition of it. Everybody's going to have their version of it. So even when you're taught about what type of person you're going to look for or what type of person you need in your life, you're already conditioned to look and to think a certain way. Before you even decide what you want, somebody was always telling you what you need and what you want. And so once you get into the dating arena, you got all these emotions that no one ever told you how to figure out, or even told you that you should try to figure it out.
Right.
You know, most people just go with it.
Okay.
So, did I get off subject?
No, you didn't. Is love custom made or custom fitted?
Custom fitted. And I say that because I bring culture back up. In every different cultures, there's a different perspective or perception of what love is. We had a discussion last night, monogamy versus polygamy. And obviously, if you practice polygamy, it can't be the same type of love that most people in America associate with, because it's in America it's an individual and ego mind filled with ego. So that's a good point. When you say mind and you feel like and possessive, you know, how can that be love?
Right.
When you really analyze it, when on a conscious level.
Okay, so since you brought up polygamy,
Mm-hmm.
this is a bit off subject, but what are your views on polygamy?
Polygamy. I believe that it's a natural thing because it was the first way we loved and dealt with each other before someone or some system was put in place that decided that you should do it a certain way. So it's a natural thing. It was sex, having children. It was not a formal thing. It was a necessity and naturally built-in instinct to do. So as we became more civilized, I won't say civilized, I don't like that word because we went backwards in my opinion.
Okay.
I say modernized. We developed more ego.
Okay.
There was no need for unity or more than one to come together.
Okay.
You know, I can imagine, I'm going to ramble a little bit.
No, go ahead.
I can imagine being in the wilderness or whatnot and depending on, you know, building a shelter, moving from day to day, and your very survival depended on other eyes and other ears. You know, if you sprain your ankle, you would hope that the group would look out for you until you were well enough to get along on your own.
Right.
If you broke your arm, you would hope that you developed a bond with someone to where they could shoot for you or make your food for you versus worrying about who they're sleeping with.
Right.
You grasp what I'm saying? And not only that, romance has confused love also. You know, romance is something that was created. That is not a natural thing. It's not it's not something that was inbred in us to do. It's not even a necessity. We were built in our minds and our hearts and our emotions were built to believe that it was a necessity. Based on TV. If you hadn't seen it on TV, if you hadn't read it in a book, or if he hadn't heard women talk about romanticizing the idea. You know, it's an emotion that needs to be elicited.
Okay, don't you think that romance is... I do agree that romance is a bit far-fetched, but don't you think that romance is viewed differently according to culture, traditions? For example, I'll give you an example. I think that my grandfather was romantic in his own way. He went to work, and every day when he came home, he always came back with a paper bag wrapped with fresh meat that he brought to my grandmother. And that to me was a romantic gesture. It wasn't chocolates, it wasn't flowers, but it was the fact that he thought about her and thought about home and brought this.
Is that romantic or being caring and nurturing?
I think there's romance there. I mean, it's a bit of both. But
in his perception, because if you're looking at it from your perception, you have to remember that you're relating it to what you've seen and what. First, I'll just say this: did your grandfather have a concept of romance? Was that something that was in his face? Was that something that was promoted? Or was he around that type of propaganda?
You see, that's the thing. No, I don't think so. But I wish I could see him and ask him.
Because just based on that, because I'm not sure if that's the case that he wasn't, I could see that as being, you know what? I have a good woman. Let me bring this home for her. Not trying to be romantic. Appreciative.
Why do you avoid it? It could be romantic to a woman.
What I'm trying to say is this:
you're looking at it from a man's point of view, and
not just a man's paradigm.
Okay.
Time and place. You know, I'm trying to put myself in your grandfather's shoes. It's where as I get up, I go to work. Did he watch? Did they have much TV and stuff?
No, not at all. No TV.
No TV. So, did he read romantic books?
I don't know about romantic books, but he read. I know he read.
You know, I would imagine, just by being a man in the area. What was this at?
In the village.
In the village.
Uh-huh.
So, I just don't see romance. A man intent being romantic. Okay. Now, he might be caring and nurturing and showing appreciative, but someone on the outside who understands what romance is, and who's been exposed to romance, who's very familiar with the theme and all the other stuff, they can find it romantic.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Am I being clear?
Yeah, you are absolutely clear. I get it. I get exactly where you're going with it. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I guess my last question was what you've learned from your previous relationships with women, right? And then we kind of went off subject and got into polygamy and all that.
Did we finish the answer on that for you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so what you've learned from your previous relationships from women, how does it affect your views on relationships and women in general? I think you kind of answered this, but I'll give it another shot.
Repeat the question again, I'm sorry.
How does what you have learned from your previous relationships with women affect your views on relationships and women in general? Okay,
so now we're talking about relationships and women and not me. Not so much me. But
my
views.
Yeah, your views.
Okay, so on women, I would have to say that everyone's trying to, you have to be aware that just as well if I'm trying to assert myself or if I'm trying to make you recognize my worth, the other person is too.
That's a big one. Yeah.
You tend to forget that because you're so wrapped up into trying to present who you are to that person.
Right.
To where you kind of, well, honestly, I never even thought about the fact that she's trying to present herself to me too. You know, I thought it was more, it was always more so, maybe it's just my mindset of me dissecting or observing her.
Yeah.
You know, I would throw questions or say certain things to see how she would respond. And negating the fact that she's already trying to show me a certain person. You know what I mean? So, that's one thing, and I would say that, it's going to be a dangerous one. I stopped looking at women as what was described to me as what a woman should be, or what type of woman should look for, or how a woman should conduct herself, or how a woman should carry herself. I started looking at them as human beings. Now, the danger to that is that I understand that human beings are capable of anything. Because we're all emotional people, just as well as I am capable of anything. And, you know, I'm a bit extreme.
Yes.
And, you know, and I analyze a lot of things in my head. So I have to, I don't give any, I'm not too arrogant to where I can say, or I would allow myself to think that I can outthink her. I have to accept the fact that she's capable of thinking just like me, or better. And I act under those assumptions. I deal with that person accordingly.
Okay.
What was the other question?
Is this also your relationship? Is relationships and women in general? So by that I mean women who want, you're not necessarily in relationships with your mother, your sisters, your, you know.
Yeah, that goes for everyone.
Okay. All right. I think you answered that perfectly. And you answered my next question too. So let's talk finances. Tell me a little bit about your views on finances and why you say they're one of the most important things to make a marriage successful.
Finances allow you to, in America, it determines your whole state of I won't say that. It determines how far you go. What you can do. How much of that you can do. Whether you're going to be able to impose your will on a certain thing, or have to deal with something being imposed on you. It gives you options. And you can't get around the fact that if you don't have money, just certain things you can't do.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you.
Now, coming from a man and being the head of the household, you've already been conditioned that, I said a man, I'm not talking about a player, a pimp, a gangster, a hustler. I'm not talking about a businessman. I'm talking about a husband and a father, a good husband and father. Your number one priority is to make sure that your family is provided for.
Right.
That's what you're conditioned. That's what the world expects from you. That's what your mom is. If she's the proper mother, she's going to teach you to do so. And that can be done many ways. You know, don't get me wrong. I understand that women make money too. What I'm saying is, you have to be active in some type of strategy to make sure that your household is taken care of. Whether it's holding down the house while she gets a degree, and then you go get your degree, or if you have to pay all the bills while she's home doing a degree. Did I just say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, she's home watching the kids?
Oh, I mean, even with watching the kids, and I think that's where me and you have had our issues. And culture has a big place. In America, every opportunity is a precious thing.
Hmm.
And if you don't capitalize on it, there's no promise that you can't that you'll be able to have that opportunity again.
Mm-hmm.
That's just fact.
Mm-hmm.
And in America, nothing is ever stable because of so many things that, cars, insurances, doctor bills.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many uncertainties,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always a constant set amount of revenue that is going to be demanded from you.
Right.
So, and the economy is inflation is always going to be up. So you really never have any time to rest
Right.
in America. That's just the
Right.
society that we're
Right.
in. So when an individual is home and has any amount of downtime to achieve or to improve themselves, I think it's necessary because we're in America.
Mm-hmm.
America is relentless and unforgiving
Hmm.
for those who can't make it,
Yeah, I agree.
or for those who don't maximize their situations.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's just what it is.
No,
And
I absolutely agree with that.
so when you're in that mindset,
Hmm.
or when you understand that, it's best to respond accordingly and take advantage of all the situations that you're given. You don't
Right.
have time to take a breather for too long.
Right. I agree. Okay, so still on finances. To check or not to check somebody's credit before you get serious with them in America, because we are in America.
I think if you're going to get serious with someone,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely should take it seriously. And when I say check, I don't mean go behind your back or whatnot.
Right.
I think you should do a life plan. I think you should plan out the first year
I agree.
before you get married. But who thinks like that?
Yeah.
Who's told you to do that?
Yeah,
like
look at
again,
us. It took us 2 years of being
Again.
married, and we're kind of going through it now.
Right.
Yeah.
And going back to the love thing,
Hmm.
you're not thinking rational.
Yeah.
You're going solely off emotions.
Right.
You grasp what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I absolutely. And if a person isn't, if you like a person that much, if you're in love with a person that much, you like them that much, and they're not willing to do that, that should tell you a lot about
Right.
who you're loving.
Right. Absolutely.
If they're serious,
Right.
or either they're just basing a relationship on love and nothing else.
Is that's not enough?
I'll pose a question to you then.
Hmm.
If you love me, when you love me, you say I like this guy and everything, and you say, hey, let's sit down and let's make our let's chart out our life for the first year, our goals, our accomplishments, what direction we're going in. And I was like, oh, don't worry about that. Let's just do it.
Are you a millionaire and you're showing me by actions, or are
No,
you some
no.
Joe Blow I met in the street who was a job?
It's the same way you met me, a Joe Blow that you met at the streets.
No,
talking to you.
that would not work.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say love is subject. It doesn't conquer all. It's just subjected to other emotions.
I absolutely agree.
And not just emotions, other realities.
Yeah, it's true. Something that I'm learning very much. Still on finances.
Shoot.
How much does... Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. I didn't write this question down, but because a bulb went off.
Mm-hmm. Still recording.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How much is too much of an independent attitude from a woman that financially
Mm-hmm.
that will demasculinize a man?
How much?
Mm-hmm.
What is too much independence from a woman
Okay.
that may possibly demasculate a man?
Mm-hmm.
Does she have her money together?
Yeah.